So Elon Musk is, he's not only a robber baron, he's also a welfare queen, as we've established. He's also an immigrant in this country, right? As he, pretends to be all anti-immigrant. Unless, of course, the immigrants make him money, in which case, oh, that's great. We love that, right? But he's basically like a teenage 4chan poster. But it gets worse because he also clearly has ketamine addiction, right? So on a regular basis, he'll just crash out on the timeline and say the dumbest shit you've ever seen in your life. And that's what he's in the midst of doing right now. So to distract from the conversation about how much of a robber baron he is, right, where he literally fired American workers to bring in cheaper foreign workers that are indentured servants, to distract from that conversation, to distract from the fact that a lot of his own supporters turned on him in that moment and the MAGA base was pissed with him, here's what he changed the conversation to. Look at this. Elon Musk is posting nonstop falsehoods about grooming gangs. Musk's posts, which have racked up hundreds of millions of views on X, are his latest effort at inserting himself into UK politics. Now, insert himself into UK politics he did. He literally called on the King of England to dissolve Parliament. First of all, check your ketamine. You might have some crystal meth sprinkled in there and maybe some hallucinogens as well. Because have you lost your fucking mind? That's point number one. Point number two, he's saying shit like this on a regular basis. Look at this. America should liberate the people of Britain from their tyrannical government. Again, what happened to MAGA? Trump's anti-war. Here's the shadow president saying, maybe we should liberate the people of Britain. All, by the way, as we're about to detail for you, based on fake news. He's hawking fake news on the timeline relentlessly. So let's dive into it here. In 2024, Elon Musk's attention was focused squarely on the U.S. presidential election, but in the early days of 2025, the ex-owner has turned his gaze toward the UK. Musk has feverishly spent the past few days boosting disinformation and divisive rhetoric on X about Muslim grooming gangs in the UK, posting almost 200 times, a Wired review of the Centibillionaire's output has found. These grooming gangs reference an organized child sexual abuse scandal that came to light in 2014 involving gangs of British Pakistani men who abused an estimated thousands of girls in several towns in the north of England over the course of several decades. Musk's interest in this issue appeared to peak after a new report from right-wing news station GB News claimed the current Labour government has failed to protect the victims by refusing to sanction a government-led inquiry. During his 3-day posting binge, Musk has called for UK government officials to be hanged and jailed, demanded the removal of Keir Starmer as UK Prime Minister, and suggested notorious far-right activist Tommy Robinson be released from prison. More on him in a minute. Robinson was jailed after admitting contempt of court last year for continually repeating false claims about a Syrian refugee that led to the refugee and his family receiving death threats. Musk has falsely claimed that Robinson was jailed for, quote, telling the truth about grooming gangs. Musk is also pushing the narrative that organized child sexual abuse is carried out almost exclusively by Muslim men, when a 2020 UK government study found that was not the case. Hey, dipshit, you have pictures with Ghislaine Maxwell. You boosted Donald Trump for president, the same Donald Trump that Jeffrey Epstein was caught on audio saying, I was best friends with him for a decade. If you're looking for grooming gangs, check your contacts. This is a guy, by the way, who offered a woman, I believe a woman who worked for him, he offered her a horse if she'd jack him off. It's that same Elon Musk who's now melting down over Muslim grooming gangs in the UK. God, the right-wingers, it really is. You know that meme where you put the chip in the back of the MAGA dude's head and like he's pissed about one thing, but you take that chip out, you put another one in, and then he's pissed about the new thing? That's what this is. You can come up with the fakest of fake news, have enough idiots online like Jack Posobiec and Elon Musk tweet about it, and all of a sudden this is like the scandal du jour. Musk's flurry of posts and replies comes just months after anti-immigrant riots roiled the UK, fomented by far-right activists who spread misinformation about a knife attack. Musk's posts, which have racked up hundreds of millions of views on X, are just his latest effort at inserting himself into UK politics. In the wake of his successful efforts to aid President-elect Donald Trump in the US election, Musk has turned his attention to supporting the right-wing Reform Party in the UK. The party is headed by Trump ally Nigel Farage. Musk met him at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home in December. Musk's public endorsement of reform has raised questions in the UK about the potential influence of foreign donors on UK elections. By the way, it should have been the warning looking at what happened in the United States, but we basically have a robber baron who bought our government. And now he's trying the same thing with the UK. The difference is, in the UK, they're a little more evolved than us here in the States, and Elon Musk has like a 20% or 15% approval rating there, right? So, but look, this is what he's doing. As the world's richest man, he's trying to buy various governments. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's in the midst of doing. And also, I should point out, this concern, Muslim grooming gangs. I'm so concerned about Muslim grooming gangs. This is a guy who supports Netanyahu and supports Israel. You want to talk about a sexual abuse scandal? How about Israeli concentration camps where they grape Palestinians to death with metal rods? And this is even on tape. He said nothing about the sexual abuse, never mind the abuse against Palestinians. Not a single goddamn word. Doesn't give a shit about that. But uses it in this instance to shit on Muslims in the UK. A petition Musk shared in November calling for the removal of Starmer has so far amassed more than 3 million signatures, and over the past 3 days, Musk has interacted with a wide variety of prominent figures about the grooming gang scandal, including mainstream UK political figures like Farage and former Conservative Party leader Liz Truss. But Musk has also boosted content from extremist figures Carl Benjamin, that's Sargon of Akkad, what a blast from the past, who was a major participant in the Gamergate movement, and Tristan Tate, who is accused of human trafficking and rape and is the brother of manosphere influencer Andrew Tate. Oh my God, I love this. So while he's in the midst of a multi-day meltdown over Muslim grooming gangs, he's laughing it up and conversing with Tristan Tate, who is literally accused of human trafficking and rape along with Andrew. You want to talk about systemic sexual violence. As I said, check your friends. Check your mirror. Check Donald Trump. God, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind, man. I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. These people are so fucking shameless. There's nothing at the core of Elon Musk. He is an empty void of a human being. There is no there. There is no morality. There are no ethics. There is no justice or reason. The guy's a total fucking crank, robber baron asshole who only cares about money and power. And he's a little fucking Weasley narrative humper going, look at me, by tweeting about the right-wing scandal du jour, which will be gone by next week because most of it's fake anyway. They should receive the severest punishment, hang them for treason, Musk wrote in response to a post from far-right UK lawmaker Robert Jenrick calling for the prosecution of government officials involved in the Muslim grooming gang cover-up. The report that sparked Musk's interest earlier this week claimed that safeguarding minister Jess Phillips had rejected a request from a city council for a government-led inquiry into child sexual exploitation in Oldham, a town near Manchester in the north of England. That was one of the areas where allegations of abuse from grooming gangs were made. While Musk and his allies claim this is part of a larger government cover-up, Phillips actually wrote in a letter that it was, quote, for Oldham Council alone to decide to commission an inquiry into child sexual exploitation locally, rather than for the government to intervene. The previous conservative-led government similarly rejected Oldham's calls for a government-led inquiry in 2022. Oh, would you look at that? I'm sure Elon Musk is all over that, right? He's going to target those right-wingers any day now. Any day. Musk has called on Phillips to be jailed and called her a rape genocide apologist, says a guy who's supporting the literal genocide of Palestine right now. Right now. Why don't you release another picture of you and Netanyahu holding hands and giggling together, you bitch? Both Musk and Phillips did not respond to Wired's request for comment. Musk is also using the report to call once again for Starmer's removal as prime minister. Starmer was complicit in the rape of Britain. When he was head of Crown prosecution for 6 years, Musk wrote on X on Friday morning in a post that is now pinned to the top of his timeline, Starmer must go and he must face charges for his complicity in the worst mass crime in the history of Britain. Again, richest man in the world, throwing around his weight, trying to buy democracies and destroy democracies and leave himself as the most powerful figure in all these countries. That's what he's doing. That's what this is. All while he's in the midst of a fucking ketamine addiction. All while he's acting like a 4chan poster, a teenage 4chan poster. All while he's asking women to jack him off and he'll buy them a horse. Starmer, in his role as director of public prosecutions over a decade ago, actually initiated the prosecution of a grooming gang in Rockdale and introduced new rules aimed at allowing sexual abuse cases to be prosecuted. Oh, interesting. So it's the exact opposite of what Elon Musk is saying, because Elon Musk is a fucking idiot who does nothing but spread fake news. Starmer in the UK government press office did not respond for comment, but Health Secretary West Streeting told the BBC that Musk's comments were misjudged and certainly misinformed. You don't say. You don't say. Now you see what we've been dealing with here in this country. This is the guy who fucking bought our government. Musk has also drawn a number of right-wing U.S. figures into the conversation, including accounts like Chaya Right Chick, that's Libs of TikTok, who runs Libs of TikTok, Riley Gaines, the right-wing commentator Ian Miles Chung, and disgraced former U.S. National Security Michael Flynn. You got Michael Flynn, the QAnon freak, now on your side. You know you got it nailed with the facts when Michael Flynn is on your side. U.S. Senator Mike Lee also weighed in, writing on X, "Does the UK need to be liberated? Anti-war, bro. MAG is anti-war, bro. MAG is America first, bro." By the way, Mike Lee, for those of you who don't know, he's the fucking moron senator who thought that the world's most obvious AI-created video of all time, he was on Twitter replying to it going, "Is this real?" These people have the IQ of a potato. Let's just get that out there. Bill Ackman, oh my God, this dipshit, a hedge fund manager and Trump supporter, repeated Musk's narrative almost verbatim in a post on X. He then asked if the president-elect would consider appropriate sanctions against the UK until these concerns are addressed. So, in other words, you have these tech billionaire oligarch robber baron freaks who are way too online and fall for fake news like nobody's business. They are whipping people up into a frenzy and impacting international politics. By the way, the beliefs of these people are terrifying. Let's be clear about that, right? They are like tech futurists. That's what they are. They believe in like transhumanism and AI is going to take everything over, and we should have a single overlord, the Curtis Yarvin stuff. We should have a single corporate CEO overlord who's basically the dictator, and they control a certain area throughout the country. This is what they believe. They have terrifyingly authoritarian beliefs. And these are the people who are steering international politics now. That's great. It's good stuff. In a post Friday morning, Musk boosted a call for King Charles to dissolve the UK Parliament and order a general election. While the monarch in the UK does dissolve Parliament ahead of the general election, it is only done at the request of the Prime Minister, and the monarch's power is, in effect, nothing more than a rubber stamp. So anyway, ketamine addict robber baron tweeting fake news relentlessly and causing an international crisis. That's great. It's good stuff. It's great stuff. I don't want to hear another fucking word from this charlatan unless and until he talks about why he has a picture with Ghislaine Maxwell, why he was buddy-buddy with Diddy, why he's so close with Trump when Trump was Epstein's bestie for a decade. Like, you're in on the conspiracies. You do know that, right? Like, you're a part of this fucking high society elitist cabal of capitalist robber baron assholes. I need you to understand that. You're not an outsider. You just bought the U.S. government. You're not an outsider. You're one of the most powerful men on the planet. So spare me this. Spare me. And spare me, grooming gangs. A man who currently supports Benjamin Netanyahu, who has set up literal concentration camps for Palestinians and is currently committing a genocide, supports Netanyahu, has said nothing about the videos of Palestinians being raped to death at torture camps. But he wants you to focus on something he made up that he saw over there. Fucking spare me. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of this guy.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.